I'm Mona Santana. This is my daily gratitude list where I list and talk about 5 things I'm grateful for that hopefully you can relate to as well. Number 1, heating. Yesterday I talked about air conditioning, so I thought it would just make sense to talk about being grateful for heating today because it's been really cold in LA. It's actually been raining, and so I've been using the heater, which is kind of a rare thing in LA. I mean, this time of year we tend to use it a bit more than one would expect because it's been cold, which is not common, I guess, here. But when I'm in London, which I spend quite a bit of time there, I guess, I really appreciate the heating there in the wintertime, especially because it gets pretty cold. And so it's nice to be able to have a heat source other than fireplaces, which is really the way people used to heat their houses exclusively, just fireplace, which for me is like not something I really would prefer, just because all the smoke and everything, it's like you just end up coughing a lot and it's not so great. But I mean, it's nice on occasion because I will admit that it smells nice and there's something really cozy about it. But it's nice to be able to have regular kind of heating, like radiator, or like here I have central heating. So I actually really appreciate the fact that I can stay warm in the wintertime. I don't need to wear 12 coats inside, And, I think that probably you can relate and be grateful for heating as well, because otherwise you'd just be really cold all the time. And, it's nice to be able to be comfortable. So we should be grateful for that, because I think that it is a luxury, even though we all just kind of take it for granted that we have heaters. But, that's just because we live now. I mean, if we were born another time, it wouldn't be like this. So it's pretty great that you can just flip a switch and then suddenly it's warm in your apartment or house or wherever it is you live, hopefully. So I'm grateful for heating. Number 2, I'm grateful for chocolate. Who doesn't like chocolate? I'm not the biggest fan of chocolate, though, if I'm honest. I love chocolate when I want chocolate, but I don't always want chocolate. But when I do, I'm really happy that there's chocolate, because nothing else tastes like chocolate. It's such a completely unique thing that we have, and I really appreciate it. It used to be just sort of a frothy kind of drink that they would make in Mesoamerica way back in the 16th century, I think it is, 15th century, something like that. And so it was really just a drink, but there was no sugar in it, so it was a completely different animal, you know what I mean? And then when the Europeans, well, Spain actually, I should be specific about it, because it was Spain who took the chocolate to Europe and then added sugar, and so it's more like how we know it today, although it was a chocolate drink still. But then what was the history? The history is complicated, but nevertheless, we have chocolate. Everybody makes chocolate in their own version of it and everything. And I do want to spotlight the people who make and cultivate and process chocolate, because they actually don't make anywhere near as much money as they really should be making. But this is the way the world works, apparently, and hopefully there's at some point that'll change. But as it is the way it is. And so I do want to be really appreciative of people who actually do that as a service to people or as a job, because we really love chocolate. It's like such a big part of our lives. And so just think about different times when you eat chocolate and you enjoy some chocolate. Just try and be really grateful for the chocolate, because it is a huge luxury, in fact. So today, maybe have some chocolate and think about it. Number 3, I'm grateful for amplification, instrument amplification, to be specific. Because if it wasn't for instrument amplification, we would not have rock concerts or anything like that. So whoever invented amplification was was a smarty pants. I mean, I really appreciate that, because then along came the electric guitar, and it's definitely the rest is history. But it used to be where there was no amplification, so if you saw a concert, it would just be whatever sound was coming out of the instruments. And so it wasn't loud enough for giant shows. So, obviously there was going to be smaller music shows. And so amplification really changed quite a lot in our lives in a great way, because all the music that we listen to now, more or less anyway, some of it's like computer generated and things like that. But nevertheless, amplification is mostly very widely used, obviously. And and in fact, even if you go to a concert, there are still amplifiers for even electronic instruments and things like that. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent here because I don't really know the details about amplification too well. And I just know that I appreciate it because I love rock and roll. So thank you very much for whomever invented amplification. Number 4, it's in the same vein, because I figure as long as I'm on the subject, I'm going to say I'm thankful for music venues. Smaller music venues that put on rock and roll shows. I really am appreciative of them, because these are places where people are able to gather together to listen to music that isn't necessarily being played, popularly. So like smaller bands, garage bands, and stuff like that are able to have a place to perform, and people can get together and rock out. And it's great. I think it's a really great thing to be able to get together around music, because I think music is probably one of the main things that we do together as a community, that we can celebrate together as a community, is music. And there are many different art forms, obviously, but I think music is definitely something that is top of the list for me anyway. So music venues, the people who run them, thank you. Number 5, I am grateful for remote controls. I am old enough to remember what it was like when we didn't really have remote controls for the TV. And I remember my dad would make us, me and my brothers and sisters, we would take turns having to change the channel manually, go up to the TV and change the channel. So it's kind of crazy, right? Because you just think now it's like, really, whoever did that, but we did. It was like that. And then of course everybody started having remote controls, and then my God, it just, it was so much easier to just lay on the couch and be as lazy as you want to be. And let's face it, sometimes we want to be really lazy. I know I do. If I'm laying on the couch, I just want to be laying on the couch. I don't have to get up just to change a channel, because, sometimes you want to just flip around, and, it's a great invention, I must say. So I am very grateful for remote controls. And of course they're used for various other things like garage door openers and things like that. So, maybe think about remote controls and which, ways you use them, because there's probably more than you realize. And it's kind of a really cool little invention, So that's what I'm grateful for today. Heating, chocolate, amplification, music venues, and remote controls. So I just want to thank you very much for joining me and for practicing gratitude. And I hope you can join me again next time. Please like and subscribe, and continue to practice gratitude. It's really good for you, I swear. Thanks. Bye.